Hello people of the internet, my name is Matthew, but you can call me Matt Ninja. Today I'm going to talk about the top 5 ways to become more mentally tough. Number 5 is remove social media. If I'm being honest, unless you have the intention of using social media to make money or for a business, it's kind of completely worthless, and it's purposely designed by the creators to be as addictive as possible. So many people today are addicted to social media. You go out in public and you see people just sitting there on their phones, clicking away at their social media. You have people who are just spend like 10 hours a day on their phones and stuff. And one of the worst things about social media is that the elites, the people in power or government, control social media. And because they control it, in case you didn't know, let me fill you in on a little something. Our elites, the people in power here in America, the majority of them worship the devil. The majority of them take orders from Satan. And what is Satan's end goal? Well, Satan's end goal is to take as many people away from God as possible. And if he obviously controls the social media, then what's he going to use it for? Well, he's obviously going to use it to promote sinful things on social media to drive many people away from God. And of course, the reason removing social media will make you more mentally tough is simply because you have more time to do those things, to do those mentally tough things. And not only that, but social media, you see all these people with like 6-packs and these huge muscles and stuff, and that's just not realistic. The majority of those people, I would say like 75% probably take PDs, probably take steroids to look as good as they do. And of course they use Photoshop and good lighting and all these other things. And people see that, and they'll see that on social media, and they'll think to themselves, oh, I can achieve that, I can do that. And then once they're unable to, they become upset. Maybe they even start taking steroids because of that. But then also a lot of them just give up and they become lazy again, because they think, oh, I can look as good as Zac Efron, or I can look as good as Larry Wheels, or Hafthor Bjornsson, or all these other people on there. But every single one of them takes steroids. So number 4 on this list is stop living like a king. What I mean by this is so many people today live like how a king would have like 500 years ago, but there's one thing missing. They're missing the responsibilities. These people want to live as a king, live in comfort. They want to be with as many women as possible, but then they are missing the one thing. They're missing the responsibility. And I'm not saying be with a bunch of women. That's wrong. That's sinful. But so many people today just live in comfort, and they live how a king would have 500 years ago, but they don't do any of the work, they don't have any of the responsibilities, they don't do enough to actually deserve to live like a king. The majority of young men today are just living off their parents. They're like in their parents' basement, feeding off of the food that their parents worked for, and they just sit there and watch shows and sit on their phones all day, lay in their beds. They don't work out, they don't do anything. They sit there, eat all their junk food that their mom or father bought for them, and then they just don't have any responsibility for the things that they have. They don't take any responsibility. They just sit there all day doing nothing. But what these men should really be doing is going out and working for those things, to work for their house, to work for their food, to work for their comfort, to work for these things, to live like a king. They should be going out and finding a girlfriend. They should be going out and actually doing stuff and working for the stuff. They should be working out. They should be doing all these things. Number 3 is have the no pain, no gain mentality. And of course, what I mean by this is with every actually important thing in your life, you should go at it full force and not just dip your toes in it, or dip your toes in the lake. No, you should dive headfirst into the lake and go full out on these things that are important to you. And I would suggest doing them one by one. So, like, let's say you have to focus on your business, or you have to focus on your job at the time. Then go full head in on that and make that basically what your life is about. Or if you're married, make your marriage the main important thing in your life. Or if you're working out, then make sure make your workout the main important thing in your life. Whatever you want most, make sure to dive headfirst into that thing instead of just dipping your toes in the lake. And number two is act like you're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Now, I know this may sound stupid, and you may think that it would make you lazy or something because, oh, I'm the best and I'm deserved to sit here. No, that's not what I mean. I mean that you should act like you are the greatest in your profession, or you're the greatest in whatever you do. Because if you have that mentality and you start believing that you're the greatest, well, then you're going to become that. It says in the Bible that if you have faith as little as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And it's true. If you have faith that you're the greatest of all time in your profession, then you might as well become so. And number one is stop blaming other people. And what I mean by this is stop blaming other people. The only person you should be blaming is yourself for how you are. Stop blaming your mother and your father, and stop blaming your friends or anything like that. Look at me. I never complained about the fact that, oh, I don't have the equipment to work out that these other people have. I don't have a gym near me. No, I built my own gym. I made my own primitive gym. I don't blame other people for my situation. I blame myself. So if I don't have a gym near me, well, I'll make my own gym. If I don't have my own house, I'll make my own house like I did. That's literally right here. My house is literally to the side of me right here. And I built that all myself, and I'm only 15 years old. I don't blame other people for the situation that I'm in. Instead, I blame myself, and I take responsibility for it, and I do what's needed to do it, even if it's harder for me than other people. Obviously, it'd be easier to go to a gym than to build your own one, but I don't care about easy. That's not how my mind thinks. My mind thinks that if it's hard, then I should do it. If it's hard and it's worth the reward, then you should do it. And that was the top 5 ways to become mentally tougher. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you like my content, make sure to subscribe. God bless all of you and your families.